What is up, guys? In this video I'm going to be talking about the differences between Irish pubs here in Boston and back home in Ireland. I'm going to talk about some of the different points, the way the pubs differ in some areas. In this video I'm going to be taking a trip to the best little pub in the world, Paddy Barry's here in Quincy. I'm going to show you an authentic, great Irish pub is like here in Boston. I have actually worked in an Irish pub in both Ireland, Tipperary, and here in Boston. I've been working on and off as a bouncer for close to 2 years, and then back home in Ireland I worked in a nightclub for 7 years. Pubs put me through college. I think I'm a good example of someone who has seen both sides and could give their opinion on where you'll find the best Irish pubs. Americans love Irish pubs so much because they're friendly, chill places, very often very relaxed as well. You know, it's a place you can go in for a drink or two, have a chat. Another big thing as well, travels very well is Irish culture. Going to a friendly place to meet new people, an Irish pub here in Boston is a great option. I feel like sports bar, you're more inclined to just sit at your own table, order drinks, and stick to your own group. But I do feel like if you go to an Irish pub, you're more likely to chat to people around you. In Ireland, we do have a really good culture of meeting new people, to the pub for the chats. Feels like it's just one big house party. You're there to chat, mingle, meet new people. Law differences. The laws definitely in the US are a lot more strict in terms of drinking on the street, being drunk on the street. Let's say in Ireland, the footpath or the street in front of the pub becomes part of the pub. You know, people are smoking outside, holding their pint of Guinness. In the US, it's a no-no. You know, I feel like in Ireland, part of the crack is being outside in the smoking area. The US, it's not really a big of a thing. I feel like people get away with so much more in Ireland. You know, you'd see people scrapping out in the street. Here in the US, not as big of a thing. Okay, so we're going to talk about authenticity. Now, very important term to learn. A plastic bar can be characterized as a bar with a contemporary or artificial design, possibly using a lot of plastic materials in its decor. You know, a big thing that people think about Irish pubs is they're the same back home as they are here in America, but it really is not the case. Just buy a few pictures and a few slitters and a few hurleys and expect everyone to come in and pay top dollar for a few pints of Guinness. Where we're going, Paddy Barry's is a super example of how to do an Irish pub really, really well. It does feel lived in, it feels authentic, it feels like Ireland. Talking about pubs feeling lived in, bit of a funny story, but I used to work in this bar back home in Tipperary, and I remember I used to open on a Sunday morning and I was late for work. It was like 12:20. There was 2 of the customers were waiting outside the pub for 20 minutes, and I rocked up to the door and they're like, some people in Ireland go in there every morning for a pint of Guinness and to read the newspaper. Back home, pubs are a lot comfier versus a lot of places outside of Ireland. It's just like kind of a nightclub with a pint of Guinness. Now, so a difference is sports. In my opinion, the US Irish pubs beat the Irish pubs back home. Boston is a really good city for sports. So we've got the NBA, the NHL, and we've also got the NFL. Patriots, Celtics, Bruins. So when you're out at nighttime here in Boston, there's usually something always up on the TV. Versus back home in Ireland, really, I just felt like we would have went to the pub to watch the soccer. And I'm usually watching Manchester United get hammered. The soccer is usually at like 3 o'clock, 1 o'clock. It's definitely a difference in the US. Sports is more late at night. This is an area that I do feel like the Irish pubs here beat the Irish pubs back home. Now, so a little bit about Paddy Barry's, the pub we're going to tonight. Paddy Barry's was opened in 1998. It's owned by Jerry Hanley, very, very famous Cork hurler. He's actually the holder of 5 All-Ireland medals. Very good friend of mine. We love to have our chats. I'm always asking him about the good old days. Hurling without a helmet on. Super friendly owner. It is a big part of an Irish pub as well. Hopefully you have an owner that's friendly, chatting to the customers, handing out the odd free drink or two. I forget I said that. They have live music on a Friday night, on a Saturday night, and then they have a jam session on a Sunday. So it's also a great thing about, usually in an Irish pub, you have live music. So next we're going to talk about customers. Who are the people coming into the Irish pubs here and back home for their lovely pint of Guinness? I definitely think in America there's a lot more options in terms of sports bar, cocktail bar, Irish pub as well. But you've so many other options. Whether back home in Ireland, I feel like you just go straight to the pub. You wouldn't even really bother leaving the pub because every pub is kind of similar, so you may as well just stay. Whether in America you might go to the cocktail bar for a bit of food and a cocktail. Then you might go to the sports bar to watch the game. And then finally later on the night you might go to an Irish pub for a Guinness and a chat. Those are two ways I feel like Ireland and the US definitely differ. In America I think it's more hopping bars. Whether in Ireland you'll go into the pub for a rake of pints and then you go for a kebab. Then you go home. Now, so the differences in culture and etiquette. I definitely think in Ireland people get away with a lot more than here in Boston. Certainly working as a bouncer here in Boston, yeah, there's a lot less messing. Pubs in America are a lot more responsible for people being drunk on the street, people drinking on the street, fights outside, anything at all really. You have to keep it within the premises. Whether back in Ireland you'd be having your pre-drinks and a can or a drink or whatever in your hand and you drink it on the way to the pub. Not really a thing in the US at all. Working on the door here in America, yeah, we have to be very careful letting anyone go outside with a pint in their hand. It's an absolute no-no. If the cops see it, they will be knocking on our door. People in Ireland drinking on the street, part of the fun you could nearly say, going from bar to bar. People lying down on the ground, sitting on the ground eating their kebab. Not a thing at all in the US really. Now, so the next topic, how is the Guinness in Boston? Good to know that the Guinness here actually is still coming from the brewery in Dublin. I guess you could imagine maybe because it has to be shipped. It's not as fresh in Ireland, but definitely, and this is an important point for Irish pubs, is like pubs that the taps are pouring more pints of Guinness, the Guinness is going to be more fresh. Whether if you're in a nightclub, for example, you get a Guinness, it's not going to be as nice because, you know, the kegs aren't changed as much, the taps aren't cleaned as much. But the best pint of Guinness you'll have is in a pub that they're selling lots and lots of Guinness because they're constantly changing the kegs, cleaning the taps. In terms of the hype for Guinness, I'd nearly say the hype is bigger here in America. Of course it's because like in Ireland everyone just drinks Guinness, it's normal, but here people who come into the bar, they're really mad about get a Guinness. It's great to see as Irish, you know, to see how other countries enjoy our products just as much. So there you go. I really hope you enjoyed my video. Please make sure if you haven't already to subscribe. Also I'd like to say, yeah, what do you think? If you'd like to leave a comment, say what do you think? Where do you think you'd find the best Irish pubs? Back home or here? I think it's going to be tough to beat back home. Maybe other countries are well known for their very good Irish pub. Thanks very much for watching. Hopefully see you in the next video. Enjoy the rest of your day.